Well, hello and welcome to another episode of the xTool Live Squad. Um, yeah, like the title says, we're gonna go beginner friendly. And why would you say? Because I've been streaming already quite a bit and I've been showing a lot of things. And I recently had a good talk about, I want to expand. I have so many of my fellow hosts and they have this machine and that machine and that machine and that machine. And, that it also tickles for me. Like, oh, I could do this, I can do that, and this is going to be easier and this is going to be simpler. But I started out when I got my machine, that's a little over 2 years ago. Hello! Nice that you guys are there. Um, so when I got my machine, I chose the xTool S1, and you might wonder why. Because it's a very beginner-friendly machine. So nice that you guys are there. I'm like flattered. Hello. um, yeah. So, and that actually made me think like, okay, I do actually really have a beginner machine because it's not just only for beginners. Don't get me wrong, but it is very good for when you are a beginner, and you can get so much more. It is like a very stable machine. It is fully enclosed, so there's also not so much. You don't have to have so much fear of that you're gonna have. You forget to put your safety glasses on or all that stuff, because as soon as you open the lid, it's off. There's all safety features in there, and I kind of would like to show you guys that. Then I thought, okay, if I actually do have a beginner machine that's very good for beginners, so why am I not gonna be doing all of the things for the beginners? So because everybody starts at the beginning, right? Nobody starts at the end. So, and that is what I want to give you. I always do it like unprepared, as I am. So you have a day in my workshop, but um, now we're going to be unprepared and talking about beginner stuff specifically, so everybody can get along. And if you're curious about the one or the other thing, you can ask me. If I don't know, because I don't know everything, I can promise you that. But if I don't know, I have a whole team of squad members behind me that I can just ask and they will have the answer for me, because they do have all these machines. So I can easily forward you to any of my squad members. So yeah, now I was preparing something. I actually, there we go. I was way too high. I was sitting too high. Yeah, I think first maybe we should see what are lasers, because I don't know if everybody is already used to using a laser, if you're just curious about it and you're just like me, like 2 years ago, like, okay, I would like to do that. But now what? What do I choose? And that really depends on what you want to do. Really. Like, really, really. Because the one laser is not the other laser. And the laser type kind of determines what materials you can process. And then the wattage picks out kind of how high in wattage you go, is how thick the material can be, and for cutting, and how fast it can go. So you have some decisions to make there. And I know I found it really difficult back then. So I want to show you guys this. I prepared something and it was really quick because, well, you know how I am. I'm all over the place and I just quickly made it. So I'm going to show you guys. After I have actually explained the things I want to explain to you guys today, I will actually then put on some music and then we are gonna go, because otherwise you won't hear me properly. So listen. Okay. let's go to this. Ta-da! Isn't that beautiful what I made? Maybe I can make it even a little bit bigger. The last little bit goes under my file, but I can fix that. So I hope you guys can read it. So a blue diode, that is my S1. My S1 came with a 20-watt diode laser and a 2-watt infrared laser. That's also a diode, but it's infrared. So now with that, I can do a whole wide range of things because I can process wood, leather, cork, slate, paper, cardboard, dark acrylic, and that is important to know. You can cut some acrylic, you can mark some acrylic, but transparent or semi-transparent, it won't see it. It has the same problem as you work with glass. I see that glass is not even on there. You can beautifully engrave glass. I don't see any example next to me. I think I put it away, cleaning up. But you can, but you have to mark it first. But clear acrylic, cutting it, that is not gonna work, or most likely not, unless you find some magical settings that I haven't found. But so that's important to know. Then after that, there is the infrared. And the infrared is really good at marking or light engraving metal. It's only a 2-watt. So that is a very low wattage. And it can already make really beautiful markings. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to try to show you. There we go. You see, it's very high detailed. Also, the laser is so thin, so narrow, that it can engrave in such high detail. I had a goldsmith here, and he was like, okay, and show me, you know, because they used to work with like super expensive machines to have beautiful engravings, of course, on metal. And I showed him, he said, I had not expected that from this type of machine, and then such a crisp result. And it's really, really super crisp. So that is what the infrared can do. So the infrared is not so good at wood or any of the other materials, but metal, yes. Then the blue diode, that one is not so good at metal. It can do it, but a little bit less good. So now then we're gonna talk about the next one. These are all lasers I do not have that are very high on my wish list, but for now I'm gonna have to admire my colleagues. A CO2 laser. A CO2 laser is like usually pretty big, and they can cut acrylic, thicker wood, leather, rubber, all those things. It's really, really amazing. So that one is very high on my wish list, because I would love to work with acrylic, you know, making like beautiful signs or holders, or I would love to combine it. So using and wood and acrylics and then combining them together. So that is something for the future. But I would definitely say, if you are intended to cut a lot of things, a CO2 laser is definitely something that you could be interested in. Now, there's also differences in there. I will show that in a moment, because of course I stream my things for xTool, because I have an xTool, so I know stuff about that. So I keep it at xTool. So I will show you guys what kind of choices they have. Now, there's also a fiber laser, and fiber laser is actually really good at everything metal. So I also engraved like this with my infrared, and it's really good. It became really pretty, but it is only very flat. It's only a marking. It's nothing deeper. It's nothing more. It's beautiful, and it's of course in there, but what I would like is to engrave deeper, so you can make some relief in there, you know, some embossing going on. And that is where the fiber lasers come in. So fiber lasers do not really do anything else. So that's important to know. But if you want to do anything that is metal, that is definitely something you want to do. And then we go a class higher, and that's the MOPA fiber laser. And that one has also the possibility to do really deep relief. It can do color marking, because depending on the settings that you do, it will... Hello! Oh, let me see. 2012 Elf. Hello and welcome. Nice of you to be there. Yeah, so deep relief and color marking, because depending on the settings, the metal reacts with a certain color. And it's currently a very big hype. And it's definitely worth looking into, because I've seen people making like beautiful rainbows and flowers and elves and everything that could use a touch of color in there. Definitely really beautiful. And then we have recently came out the UV laser. Now that is for me also personally a dream. Currently everybody is making those beautiful crystals where you can have like a 3D photo in. It's really beautiful. But what it would do for me personally, because I think I personally think that my colleagues, they nailed it so hard what they make. They send photos. We have like a big group, and the photos come there, and they make like astonishing material. But what I would love to do, I would just like to engrave on glass without having to mark it. And that would be so convenient, because I do a lot with glass, and I also figured out some different techniques with different amount of passes that you use. So you get like a frosted effect where you scrape the layer off. It's really really beautiful. And now it can't only do glass, the UV laser. It can also do like ceramics, acrylic, and delicate textures. So, and what it says there, ultra fine detail, that is also, it has very, very on point fine detail. So now let's see what else I have, because this is very unlike me. So I'm struggling like mad right now, because I'm not used to reading something off the screen that I prepared. Let me see. This one. There. Now here you see some of the lasers that they have at xTool. And for who it's good. Now, well, this is for me, the S1, and I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna grab my camera in a moment, and then I'm gonna show you guys. I tried to clean up, so I'm semi-proud of myself. No. But yeah, it's really good for beginners, especially because it's a solid base, it's enclosed, and you have a lot of working space. And that is something I love. I have it on the riser base. The riser base is an extra layer that lifts the machine up, so you can have a bit more depth or higher materials that you can put under, which is really convenient if you work a lot with glass. Then there's the M1 Ultra and the M2. That is a multi-craft and diode laser. The M2 recently came out and it can print and it can laser, and it is super convenient if you like to craft in that way. Then we have the F2, that's a 50-watt diode and a 5-watt infrared. That one is portable. That's one that is also personally very high on my list because I would like to go to craft markets so I can make something for people while they are standing next to me. So they can see it happen, because that is something people like to see, how it happened. It's cool to just buy something in the store and it is already pretty. But it's even cooler when you come up with the idea and then you say, hey, can you make this little photo or this name for this person next to me? And you see it come into existence, because that feels like they did it. And I think that is what is really cool. And that's why I would love to have it. And that one has a 5-watt infrared laser. So that is 3 watt extra than mine. So that's more than double. That's really cool. Which also makes that the engraving can be deeper. So that is on metal. Then there's the F1 and the F2 Ultra. That is a diode and a fiber MOPA laser. Really fast and also very good with everything metal. The only thing is about these all, they have a very small bed. Now there are conveyors in case that you need to do like a batch of things. There's also really a lot of tools in the software that is really convenient for that. So like batch processing, and that is all very convenient. But it is important to realize, like if you want to do like a big tray, like doggy, so that I will show you. I need to be careful that I don't roll over my dog's paws, and she just never gets up. So if you want to have, for example, this is like a really, really big plate, right? So if I want to engrave something here on the middle, that's not gonna work if I'm gonna have a small laser. So those things, if you're gonna be like a professional at cutting boards or serving trays, those might not be your choice. Then you might wanna go for a CO2 laser, or which is the P2S or the P3. So, or the S1. Those might then be better. But if you're gonna, for example, be more like, okay, I'm gonna focus, I'm gonna be a professional at jewelry, and I'm gonna have like a little boutique with all those beautiful little earrings and necklaces and stuff. You might not even need such a big machine. Then especially those smaller ones that you can portably take along with you is your choice. So I think that is like the biggest overview of it. The F2 Ultra, the UV. Well, we just talked about that. That is the UV laser that can actually you can determine where it will engrave, and it is the I can't really explain the process, but it is not the same. It is not like blasting the material. It alters the material, and I find that very difficult to explain. So I would suggest, if you want to know what's the difference between using a diode to change the material, to engrave the material, or a UV, it's actually very interesting. I would just suggest use Chatty or any AI. They can really nicely explain it to you. So, but it is very interesting. It's very interesting because the process is really different. That's why also the UV is they say it's like cold engraving, so it doesn't generate a lot of heat. Still does a little bit, but not so much. That, I hope I don't speak too fast. If I do, I am sorry, and you can rewatch my video and put it on slow motion. Then I also made this one, because I do not want to leave this out, because xTool has currently been going through a lot of things that they have been processing, that they have made and brought out, and it's actually amazing. And if you want to be an all-round crafter, you might really have use on these machines. So I'm just gonna go quickly through them. There's the xTool screen printer. That is very nice, because you're gonna engrave, or you kind of like laser away a part of the material, and you can lay that on top of your fabric, and then you're gonna go over it with like ink, and then you smudge that over it, and then you can have really beautiful ink created prints. Really beautiful. But you are kind of stuck if you have like such a screen. You can reuse it. So if you want to make batches of products, that's really convenient. But if you're gonna have like, okay, I'm just only gonna do this once for this customer, that's gonna be a little bit expensive if you only have like one print you need to make and for only one customer. So I would definitely suggest that for batches. If you want to do batches and you want to bring it out more often, then that would absolutely, and it's really beautiful. Then there is the xTool heat press. Well, heat press is for sublimation. That is also to put it on fabrics, like your t-shirt or a nice bag or anything textile. And you can also put it, for example, on coasters or that kind of stuff. Now, recently, like very recently, because that was a very big hype, there was the xTool Wonder Press. And that one was actually really amazing, because it comes with like 3 modules that you can choose. You can either only take it as a heat press, but you can also take the other 2 modules with it, or not. It has a vacuum form, and that is kind of unique. You don't really see that so often in products. Let's say I do something. This. My ruler. Oh. Hello. Thank you for subscribing. Oh, now you make me all shy. Thank you so much. So, my ruler, right? So you put that in, and they have like some plastic sheet, and that gets vacuumed over it. So after that you have this form, and it will actually see all these little thingies. That will also come in there. So it is super high detailed. And after that you can put gyps in or wax or all those things, because you can create your own form. So let's say I love this ruler. I can make 100 rulers, because I can make the form very easily. So that is very nice. And then there is the crafting oven. So people that do crafts that need to bake something off, that is absolutely magnificent for that, because you have a very good control over the heat. You don't have to use your home oven. That's also very nice. Now there we have the apparel printer. That one creates full color DTF transfers for fabric. So of course, if you're gonna do sublimation or DTF, you're gonna need something that prints it. And this one is really good to print those DTFs. So you can put it on the fabric. This one is the xTool 01 Omni printer. And I'm gonna lie if I tell you that I know everything about it, because I really don't. But it is such a big hype, and everybody wants to have them. It's more like for professional print shops, and people that really want to directly be able to print directly on uh, rigid objects and on textiles. And that one is gonna be like the thing for it. And it comes with, you can choose different versions. I know that from the squad, many people want to have both, because they can both do different things. So and I believe that it's already ordered up front. So if you want to have it, you might really want to be fast with that, because I believe that the stock is low and the demand is very high. So yeah, if you're interested in that, it's a really big hype. So don't miss out. And now this one is, I have a personal love for it. It's the xTool Metal Fab. I do not have one. And we have one person in the squad. I believe he's in Scotland, and he has it, and it is so incredibly amazing what you can do with that machine. It can cut, it can weld, everything with metal. Of course, that's why it's called a metal fab. But I would personally love to make like my own pendants with my own shapes, because I like to have things always a little bit different, you know. So I would love to do that, but also putting together different pieces of metal and then creating your own shapes. Yeah, you don't really find that anywhere so easily, and that machine is like robust, but it's a beast. It's really amazing. So okay, breathe. That is what I wanted to explain to you guys about the machines, and a quick overview of what they have currently. I have not talked about all the accessoires, because, well, there is a lot of different accessoires as well. Like I said, they have a conveyor belt. The RA2, it's like a rotary attachment, so you can pop in a ball or a Christmas ball or a glass, and that will rotate it while engraving. Also very convenient, so you can have a very beautiful placed engraving. And then there is air purifiers. People that cannot exhaust outdoors, they're gonna need to have an air purifier, because you do not want to sit in your house or in your workshop with all the smoke and all the fumes coming. So it's not good for your health. You don't want to be breathing that in. Also, it's not good for the environment that you're in. So one important note, I think I have it on one of the other sheets somewhere. No, it's actually not on there. Bummer. So there are some things, if you do not know what the material is made of, please always make sure that you investigate into that, because there is certain things that you do not want and should not engrave, like vinyl. That creates fumes, and they are very bad for your lungs, also for your machine. So, well, of course, your lungs are more important, because, well, you can order a new machine. Ordering new lungs is a little bit tedious, I guess. So don't do that. So that is really, really from my heart. Really don't. Please don't. Okay. Yeah, that was just a mention for safety. I find that very important, because I didn't know. I didn't do it, but I'm happy that I know, because I was like, oh. And well, since I'm telling you guys as beginners, if you are, maybe you're also already 2 years in and only learned it just now, that's all fine. Along the way we learn, but now you know. So shall I go and show you guys my S1? Because, well, I'm very proud of my S1. And it's doing all my hard work. So I can go and show you guys. Now let me put on a little bit of music. Let me see if this one is on, because I'm gonna take that along with me. Bum, bum, bum. Where did I put it? There. Nicely unprepared as I am. Tip there, and then we put all this, and because I just got this music from Sir Willens and he said I may use that. Haha! Now I need to turn down my sound. Otherwise you guys would hear it, and I need to make sure that you guys can hear it. And I think I nailed it all, so here it goes. And now, before I do that, in the bottom you see a code, because I forget every time. You have to watch till the end of the stream before I mention my code. But there is like a code, and if you want to order something, you can just get 20 euros off. It's very convenient. So use it. All the little bits help. In case you want to have a machine, always try to find a host near you that can help you assist with the order. If you want to have a demo first before you decide, you can book a demo with me or with one of my colleagues, and that can be often live, like on location, but it can also be is it loud? It's really loud. I'm sorry, that was really loud. I think you couldn't hear anything I said because I probably blasted your ears. So, in case you would like to have a demo, you can book that. And I will show you also the link to that. So let's go back. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was, but now it should be good, right? It should not come over my voice. Okay, great, thank you. Something has to go wrong in my stream. Okay, thank you. I'm happy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, here. This code is my QR code. That one is specifically going to mine. But through my link, you can also go to my other colleagues. So I'm also promoting them. But not just for me, but if you ask your host that you contact to help you with the host assist order, you get an extra percent. It doesn't sound like much, but if you have a machine of 5,000 euro or dollar, that's gonna count, and that is just on top of whatever is already going on discounts. So even if they have an event or whatever, it still goes on top of that. So I would suggest always try to do that. It's really helping. Every little bit helps, especially when you have an expensive hobby like this. So let's see if I can go to my machine. Wake her up. Okay. Now I need to see why this is. I'm just gonna go for this one because I want to bring this. Okay. Go on then. I see something here, but why is it not? I'm sorry, I have to try that. Yay, it's working. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys. I hope you will still be able to hear me because I still have not fixed my... So this here is my S1. So yeah, I don't have my normal microphones because I washed them. Totally on purpose. So this is my xTool S1 with the lid open now. So move this away a little bit, and now you can see there is currently my 20-watt diode laser in, and right here in the package I have the 2-watt infrared laser. So then we have on the front, this is the power button or the start button. I hope you guys can hear me properly still. Then we have on the side here is the emergency stop. In case that something is totally going wrong, you can smash that in. And here we have the air assist. So that one has like different settings. So I have it often on auto, but there can be moments where you do not want it to do that, because otherwise it might give like a burn effect to the sides for some materials. So then you don't want to have it. Then this one is a fire extinguisher. So in case that something goes wrong, this one can extinguish that. So there's like little tubes in there that you can reorder if in case it's used, but well, I hope it will never be used ever. It comes with like nice little toolbox of stuffies, and this one is the one I ordered with it. This is one of the accessoires that I told you guys about. This is the RA2, and here goes in like a glass or a bulb, and there is different things you can have for that. I can also install 2 rollers, so I can lay it in and it will roll around. And I also have them that there's like metal pins coming from here. That one is a lot better like for Christmas balls. And then there is like an extra card that you can put in. So if you aim right there, so, and then you can like, here can be like the end of the wine glass or the Christmas ball or all that kind of stuff. Now you can see that mine is quite high, right? So normally it would only be this high, but mine has this. This is the riser base that is extra. So see if I can do this with one hand. I can. So this is my honeycomb. This makes sure that the air can go below. So that helps against overheating. And now you can see how deep it actually is. I have not removed the residue from my last engraving, but now you can see. Also, here you can see if we look at the cable of my RA2, that one goes in here. So that's also very nice. And if we look at this one, there is this needle here, and that is magnetic. You can just take it off and put it on the other one. But this one is used to measure the depth. So it will lay very flat against this, and when it's done, when it takes the depth, it will reset on this little platform here. So that's its reset platform. And yeah, that is kind of how it looks. You need to grease sometimes these here and here, and of course on this side, because this is how the machine slides over it. This is the cable that is pushing and pulling it, and it can go back and forth. So yeah, that is the xTool S1 up close. Well, the back side also has some stuff, but I can't really reach that so easily, so maybe I should show that on the website. So let's just go here. Showing you guys something I made like a week ago. This is done with my xTool S1. Sweet dreams, Straw. Thank you for being there. So, yeah, that was my S1. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing that. And maybe we should see if we can make something, right? Because now you have seen what it is, how big it is, and what features. Maybe we can tap a little bit into design. So for that, I'm gonna go back to the studio. And I'm gonna start. This is xTool Studio, and well, you can see here is already a bunch of projects open or made. This is projects that I worked on, and that's very convenient. So if you're gonna work multiple days on a project, you can easily just click it from here without having to go into your Windows Explorer and stuff. So you can click on the top, the little plus sign, and then it will open an entire new file. And now it is all nice and clear. I have my xTool S1 connected. This is how you can connect. Well, I do not have any other devices, so I can't showcase that. And this is like all the devices that they would have that can be connected to that. So that's pretty cool. So my device is my xTool S1. You can connect it through USB or over Wi-Fi, which is very convenient. I like to have it on my Wi-Fi. You also have some settings that you can put in. Basic info. Let's say I have two xTool S1s. Now, imagine. Then I can have that lefty and righty, or however I want to call them. So, well, there's a serial number, etc., etc. Then there is working info. So, flame alarm, definitely want to have that on. I do, because, you know, stops when moved, also important. Lens protector cleaning reminder, also important. You will have to clean it now and then after an X amount of hours that you use it. So, for example, this one, it's wood, and wood, when you burn it, it makes smoke, and smoke sticks to everything. I mean, ever try to make a campfire and sit next to it with your clothing? Well, that's kind of the same for the machine. All that smoke that goes somewhere and that sticks, it gets extracted out. But there's also gonna be some of the smoke particles, they are gonna attach, just like clothing with a campfire. So you will have to clean that. I will take that maybe next time. We're just gonna show how that is done and clean it. not today, but that is important to do. So the lens protector needs cleaning, and then you just keep your machine in good condition. This is the air assist, what I talked about. So if I cut, I want to have it standard on 4. If I engrave, I want to have it on 1. The reason why is you do not always want to have it on 4. You think like, okay, but the more is out is great, right? But if you engrave with a bit of a higher power and you extract it too hard, those fumes are gonna be pulled away constantly over the material, and then you're gonna get like a burn mark on the sides. It gets like dragged over it. So then you get like a little piece of, I can show it this, because this one had it a little bit. And that's normal because this is like a testing grid. But you can see this. That is what I mean. That it gets too fast pushed over it, and then it gives those markings. So now the exhaust fan of course needs to be on. For me, because I do not have an external fan that is, you have those big industrial ones that big workshops have, and they are connected to that, and I think they might not always need that. Depending on how they calculated how much it needs. So it is possible to turn it off. Buzzer reminders, I do not like that. For me it's way too loud, and I am sitting as I should, as everybody should, with my machine when it's working. Because especially when you engrave anything that is even remotely flammable, so that is not only like wood or cork or felt, for example. Those are some things that I like to engrave a lot or cut. But also acrylic. You would think, okay, but it's just plastic, it's not going to go so fast. But if it goes, you don't want that. So you always stay with your machine when it's working. That's just a safety reminder. Well, use conveyor feeder. I don't have it. I don't know why it is standard on. It's not needed for me, but here you can see everything that it has been doing, and then we have accessory information, but I don't have any of those right now. So breathe. Okay, now we got that covered. You have seen a little bit of the basics on here, and I will show you a little bit of what xTool Studio has, because if this is your first time seeing that, I know I got overwhelmed. There was really a lot of stuff in there, like, okay. Now for me it doesn't really matter because I like clicking buttons anyway, so I'm just curious. So here's a big menu. The file menu, well, it's kind of standard. If you work more with PCs, then you will recognize this. This is how you can edit, arrange. If you have your layers, so I make vector 1 and I make vector 2 and a bitmap, so a picture. They go in layers, so it's not like they're all just spread apart. No, they are 1 vector, 2 vector, bitmap. But I can also say, okay, the bitmap has to be behind my vector, so I want to have it in the background. And that is where you can do that with arrange. You can design, you can decide where it has to be. Here, bring to front and backwards, bring forward. So that is how 1 layer up or down, or entirely up or down. The align one is definitely useful. I will actually directly show that. If I'm gonna make 3 rectangles, go on, and this one. So if I want to align them, now I have help lines. I have that enabled. That's also a setting you can choose, but I have that enabled. But it can be quite a bit of work. right? So if you have that, you just have to select them all, and you can either go all the way here and do it here, but it's more convenient in the top here. You also have it. You can say align, horizontal, align center, and then everything is going to be here horizontally aligned on the center. Now that is not really what I want, because I do not, that would be if I have them above one another. So here I want to have a vertical align center. And now they are all, this is all the middle of each one. This is a little bit bigger and these are the same size. So this is now here, the perfect middle. And you can have different ones. You can also say bottom, and now you see that the bottom lines up, and that goes on and forth. And I would say if you just play a little bit with it, I think that is the best way to learn, is just to play around with it and see what it does. Now this one, reflecting it, is not really much use, so let's take an arrow and I'm gonna put it to the side. Reflect is, I can say reflect horizontally, that's gonna go the other way. And if I would have it up and I say reflect vertically, then it goes down. So it flips it like either so or so. So that is very nice to do. Now here you can also see that when I have one object clicked, I can say edit. And that one is a bit fun. If you go in there, because this is a vector shape. So if I edit it, you can see it actually has dots. And those dots I can move around. So if I want to make this arrow look a little bit more funky, I can drag this up. And I could say I drag this up as well. And I want to have this one in here. And I'm going to line it up to that. There. That is how easy it is. But I can also change the line style. So now it is all on sharp corner. Everything. Can I click it? There. Now you see it. It is selected sharp corner. But I can also say perfect symmetry. And then this is going to be moving equally to one another. So if I make these longer, it goes on both sides. And it always will stay straight opposite of one another. So then there's also the asymmetry. Can I hover? No. Oh, this is the asymmetry one. And here I can now choose one side. And the other one stays put. So if I want to make... So. Now it looks different. Now it looks almost like Loki. And I can also do this one, the angled asymmetry. Then this one will still be the opposite side, so it will always stay a straight line in the adjustment line. But I can drag only this one out or only this one out as I want to. But it will always stay in the same angle, like that. I can just change how long it will pull on it. So those are fun to play with. If you do not understand it and you want to have like a one-on-one session, just let me know. I will gladly explain more about this if anybody wants to see. So that's a little bit about the arrow. And then we also have something else. I need to see how can I get to that easiest. I need something with multiple. I think this one. Okay, it's a little bit early for Christmas. Doggy. Let's take the doggy. I think it's too early for Christmas. So let's say this doggy, and you saw now here pops up another one, and that's a compound. And a compound is a collection of those. So this all belongs together, but I can say edit compound. I can edit this separately, just the same as that, because then I just added the vector. But if I say edit compound, I can take, for example, and I have the whole butterfly. Let me put it back. So every outline and inline is its own part. So if I want to do just the eye, I can make him look down. That's simple. I can also say I Control C and Control V him. Control C is Control Copy and Control V is pasting. And then I can make it like having it like a bit of a reflection. See, that is how easy it is. If I do not like where the butterfly is, I can select it entirely. I can make it go there, and then I can say reflect horizontally, and now it is above him. And that is how easy it is to work with compounds. But if I do not want to have this, oh, I need to see that I can select only this. Why is it bullying me? I'm trying to get only this. Okay, this back. So if I do not want to have that part in, I can just take it out. Same goes for the eye, for example. Control Z is, by the way, how you can undo quickly. You might want to have that. I can say, okay, I want to have an extra wiggling line around the ear. Both of them. Let's take the small one. And here with this one, those two circles that are around one another, you can change the angle of it. You can also see it in the top. You can also do that manual. So if you say, I know that I want to have it 45 degrees exactly, you can just pick that. And now I do an extra one, make it a little bit bigger. So now it has a very wiggly ear and a very wiggly tail. So that's how you can just easily play around with it. And here you can see it's all still stuck to one another, but you can easily change that. And if you do that again with the normal edit, I can, for example, say, okay, I want this spot to look different because my dog looks different, and it has a spot like so. So I like it more like that. Now it has a fur like that. So that is how easy you can make your own designs. I see it's already 10. I think maybe we should leave it at that today and go through the rest the next time, because this is, I want to have it like little bits and bytes, so you guys are not gonna fall asleep listening to me. Yeah, this is just a little bit of basic stuff, and if it goes too fast, well, you can just go to my videos and you can go back. But you are also very welcome to contact me on Discord. You can find all my links there. I always need to check where I am. Here next to me, you see sewit.com/sewitlinks. That is how you get to all my links of all my different platforms, and then you can easily also contact me and I will gladly help you out. So with that said, I would like to thank you for watching, and thank you for the following, of course, the subscription, I mean. I will be back here on Thursday. Oh, thank you so much. You're spoiling me, thanks. I approve, but it's like the blush button, thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna be here on Thursday again. That's the plan. And then I'm gonna continue a little bit more. I want to show you guys everything about the materials, what you can do, and what all these other magical buttons mean. You slipped. Oh no. Oh no, my finger slipped. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you back on Thursday. Bye bye.